Excellent. So, very warm welcome to everyone from our group, the newcomers. Welcome. We are bringing frequently lots of information to you in the form of interviews, and we're also bringing lots of education when it comes to gut health and many other issues to be taken into account when one is beginning a journey of detoxification, deparasitation, and whatnot. So today, we have a very special guest. Nicolas Mayaud is a dear friend who has been an activist and a fighter to eliminate the use of mainly mercury, but bringing awareness to people about the importance of correct dentistry, what it is called today, biodentistry, which is a term that does not say exactly what it is. So first of all, a very warm welcome, Nicolas, to our place today here, or space of knowledge.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you.
Nicolas.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Hello.
much for
Hello, Tabitha.
helping us and participating in this meeting today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you here. So, Nicolas, let's jump right in. You have dedicated many years to this work. What first drew your attention to mercury in dentistry and its impact on human health? What was it that made you start?
Yes, I'll start my journey, in this particular field because it's a passion. So it's quite strange to talk about the patients when we are talking about something toxic, but it's the case because I discovered the problem of the mercury intoxications in 2011 when I was studying nutrition and detoxifications in a famous school in Geneva. And one of my professor was Boyd Alley. And, he was just trying to make us understand the impact of mercury and how it's very important, to make safe mercury removals. And this struck me because since many years, I was very doubting about everything we are talking. Well, I had a lot of doubt now since I'm open-minded. And yes, it was for me unacceptable to understand that a lot of people have this toxic in their mouth and they don't have a clue about the effect. And also they don't have solutions on how to remove it. But after that, I learned, and I made, Boyd was also after that a friend because I organized conference in France for him. And also after that, I bring his compound in a famous anti-aging clinic in Lausanne in 2016. So yes, for me, after that, I discovered also a huge family with Anita Thibault, with Blanche Grube, with Boyd, and also Claudia Marin, a famous dentist in biological way. And yes, 15 years ago, I'm still there. I'm still as a fighter, also with the Say No to Mercury NGO created by Dr. Lisa Matrist. She's also a famous biological dentist in Australia. And so it's more than a family. And after that, I discover also you and Tabitha, and for me, it's perfect. So yeah, thank you everyone to being there, and thank you also for the invitation. And I will be pleased to answer all questions.
Thank you, Nicolas. Okay, what do you think? Why do you believe there is still an urgent need for biodentistry? Why do you think? Have we advanced in making people aware of the problems? Where do you think we are? Because David and Boyd and Blanche and Anita, they have been, I think, over 25 years, they have been
more.
Spreading the message. So why
Yes.
do you think is it still necessary, and how do you think we can better achieve?
I think it's very urgent that we create also a new generation of people who's going to take this fight, because no one is eternal, and for my perspective, I understand more and more that biological dentistry, it's not something quite unique. It's logical. It's biological medicine, so it's not new. And I understand also that biological dentistry starts in South America, and after that also in USA, and today it's the reason that most of the people understand that health also starts in the mouth. In my field, in the clinic where I'm working, we are working on the body, on the cells, on the gut, and with different kind of treatments. But there is always a separations between the dental field and the medical field. And as I said, sometimes I love that, because Claudia Marin, she's always say that they are the future of medicine. It's not just being a dentist. It's as a biological dentist, they need to understand what are the problems with different kind of materials. They can also, they need to prevent about not having root canal and not having for sure mercury fillings and other things. So yes, I think today I saw these evolutions also with the social media, and there is a lot of now famous biological dentists, and thank to them since 5 years, So I think there is a Swift is coming, and also I think that a lot of conventional dentists are more open to that, but it's always a question about ego, and it's also a question about money. So it's very hard, sometimes to accelerate the movements, but it's coming, little by little.
Little by little, yes, but exactly, I think you touched upon a couple of very important points, So I think the ego is, you go to school, either dental school or medical school, and you are indoctrined. You are taught what to say, what to use. In most of the cases, we know very very well that dentists, they have to study for a certain amount of years, and in these years they are taught exactly what they are supposed to be using. I think dental students, I think, are the mostly exposed to contamination of mercury. Let's start by that. How is it possible that we in the world are allowing the schools to train their students utilizing non-protective material equipment in manipulating as it used to be mixed in many, many, many centuries, I would say almost close to a century ago, with the hand. So it's evident that there is a problem. It's a system problem. It's not the people, the dentists, and then the ego comes. I have learned this for so many years. How can it be wrong? How can I be wrong? How can I tell my patient, I have made a mistake.
Exact.
This material
it's difficult.
is
Yeah,
not
it's
good.
difficult.
So, yeah,
Yes.
but let's get a little bit technical. Obviously, when it comes to technicalities about the damage of mercury, David has been very generous many times with us here. But exactly, what does the problem of mercury entitle? Not only the body, no? It's not only the body. What happens in general with the environment, contamination? Tell us a little bit about this. What the consequences are? Not only eliminating the use of mercury, but what happens with the mercury that's already in the mouths and in the mouth of everyone? So.
Yeah. Perhaps just before I also need to say that I'm not a dentist. I'm not a doctor. I'm a simple nutritionist in detox, but now I'm working more as a project development in this clinic, in Switzerland. But so I was a therapist during 15 years, and I used to have a lot of sick patients. And one of the extraordinary experience I had, it's every time people came when I was doing my analysis, all the questions that I asked to the patients, and I have some tips that I know that this kind of sickness can come from mercury intoxication. So when I see a lot of ones, at the end, I just ask the patients before starting the consultations. Okay, is it possible do you have mercury fillings in your mouth? Oh, yes. Yeah, but I have perhaps, but I don't know exactly. You mean the gray one or the white one? So they don't know first. And after that, some they just said, yeah, oh, yeah, I don't have any more, Phew, I made a deposit, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and they say, okay, did you made it in a safe way? Okay, what is it a safe way? I think, yeah, no, I think it was in savage way. and so they open the mouth and I count, like 2, 5, 6, 8, sometimes 12, and also young people. And I just say, okay, perhaps it could be necessary to start in your mind to say that you have mercury intoxications. There is also other factors, but we should look at it. And most of the time, those patients, that it's like, there's so many doctors, famous doctors, scientific, they made a lot of tests, and they don't have a clue about that. And no one before asked them to open the mouth. And they say, okay, I think it's time to put my luggage now here because I need to work on that. So this was, the thing that I saw a lot when I was a therapist. Mercury today is on the top level of intoxicated heavy metals. You have others. But this one, there is a particularity. It's the body can eliminate like just 20% of mercury. Okay, and sometimes making, kidney damage and other damage, and the rest is stuck in the fats, because there is an affination together, and sometimes so it's sleeping. He made a lot of destructions, but after that it's just not stabilized, but placed in the fats, and so you have 80% stuck, and there is before no other way to take this out. So that's why the ancient way of detoxification was the chelations, with EDTA, the NPS, etc. And when I was talking and working with Boyd, he always told me that this was the old time because, it was not sometimes safe. It's not very, sometimes it's going to take mercury a little bit, but on the path is going to break, and after that, the mercury can go in other place. There is also limitations because it's not going to pass the brain barrier. And also with the demineralization, with all those minerals taking off with the mercury. So all those doctors who made chelations, there is two types that I saw. I saw, doctors making like as a business. Okay, you want? Okay, we go to an hotel, we go to our clinic. Okay, we give you some chelations and that's it. And this is the wrong way of doing that. And after that, you have also, biological doctors. They understand how to prepare the body to prevent these negative effects of this kind of chelations. And so there still has a success because it's helping and saving lives sometimes to make chelation in certain cases. But we need to understand that the detox, it's not just a button that you push and say, okay, after that I'm clean. You need to understand how the body is constructed. You need to understand the steps. And that's why in Switzerland, in my clinic, we understand that before doing any detox with chelation or other techniques, we are going to be focused on the gut, with colonic irrigations, with ozonotherapy, with different kind of perfusions to give all those energy to the cells and to the organs, the emunctories, to have the power of doing the detox. So we need to also to understand that safety, it's very important. That's why we talk about safe security in the mercury removals. And mercury also, is going to has a huge effect also on the brain. And so you can have a lot of neurological disorders coming from these intoxications. And also after that, there is also the thing that the mother, when she's pregnant, there is a lot of release of mercury to the fetus. I think that everyone here understand that. I think David and Boyd already say that. But yes, it's most of the time, I think that if people didn't have this mercury when they were young or before, I think it would be a completely different situation.
Completely different situation in the world, absolutely. And talking about the toxicity of it, because it is released. Okay, so when they are drilling to take it out, when they are doing it not the safe way, and this vapor is going everywhere. The dentist is breathing it. The patients waiting in the room next door, they are breathing it. It's being released in the atmosphere,
Yes.
And we know very well when people are cremated, this mercury is evaporated in the air. So people who live near crematoriums and whatnot. And the worst part is the mixture. So when mercury alone is a very bad boy, but when he's mixed with other things like, I don't know, lead or even agrotoxics like glyphosate and whatnot, it creates so many other problems in the body that are amazing. So
it's a bad combination.
no, I was just thinking, what do you think a person, let's say a person comes who has amalgams, and what should this person consider before thinking about removing them and whatnot? Not only obviously talking about the smart way, but what should the person consider? Okay, I have a mouthful of, what do you tell your patients to do?
Yeah, like I said, it's not to rush to see a dentist and to put this out, even if in a safe way. Because the body, I think Boyd told me that the body is used to this toxic, so it's like a drug, it's like an addict, so if you take this toxic out, just like that, the body will respond for sure. So you need to prepare the body. You need to understand that you have several steps. So in certain situations, you can make a provocation test. It's a urine test to see the levels of mercury. 24 hours urine recuperations sending to the lab, and after that you have good results. So this is the only way to measure before making safe removals. But before that, you need also to prepare the body. So you need to just the biological ground needs to be secure. You need to also to level down the stress, the oxidative stress, and after that you need also to coach the person to have very good food habits during these treatments. Okay, because like for example, dairy product multiply by 5 the effect of mercury in the body. Okay, and also to make them understand that more you eat meat, hard meat, or drinking very hot coffee or tea, you are going to release more and more vapor, and also chewing gum, etc. There is a lot of information on the internet, so you can see that it's chewing gum. I think it's to chew. It's you multiply by 100.
It is. Yeah,
the paper. So you need to just take step by step the person first, because we are all patients, but the person, and to understand how we can proceed to make this happen. And after a few weeks, first perhaps 1 month or perhaps 2 months, because you don't have to rush now. You have this mercury feeling since 20 years, 30 years, 15 years. So it's not 1 month in your life that it's going to change. But if you prepare your body in a good way, after that you need to choose a certificate biological dentists, with EIOMT, the famous one. You have EIBDM also, and with Blanche, and so you have these two, for me, best certificate for making dentists, able to practice these techniques.
Safely, yeah.
And it's quite amazing how sometimes you see famous dentists, and you go there and they say, yeah, we treat mercury, we use the safe way, and you go in their radiology and you have a sticker said, I'm EIOMT certificate, and after that you can search on internet on the EIOMT search, and they're not exist in that, so that you have some dentists that know that it's something's quite marketing, and so and they use some safe techniques, but you need to have a full range of safety in during the treatments. It's not just put the rubber, etc. So
absolutely.
Yeah, you need
this,
to
this is very, very important what you're saying. Thank you for bringing up this point. So what it is that, of course, the safe way is called SMART in English.
Smart, yeah.
The SMART way to remove. They were first introduced by the IOMT. One of the persons who started it was David Kennedy himself. Having said that, people know that if I say I am AOMT certified or whatever, it should be like a seal of proof. But as Nicolas is pointing out, it's a marketing strategy. So you have to go. There are lists, okay, in the IOMT webpage where you can check if your dentist is indeed a certified doctor, okay? And then in the IOMT webpage, you can also find the procedure of the SMART way. You can see all that is needed, and if that dentist, for example, does not have the same technology that they are showing you in this page, then believe you me, you are with the wrong dentist. But okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's rewind a little bit, Nicolas, because we went, okay, so you prepare the patient, you will mention, you want the person to be aware, you don't have to rush, you have to relax, you have to bring your level of stress down, try not to chew too much, to produce more. But when you say about preparing the body, you're talking specifically, as you mentioned, in your clinic where you are working at the moment. You prepare the body, so you prepare what? The gut, the kidney, the liver. You have a certain protocol or a certain way to look at this. Can you explain about that a little bit?
Yes, it's logical. It's the founder of my the clinic where I'm working came from South America, and so it was the first integrative medicine clinic in Geneva, created 20 years ago. They have with the brother and the sister. They have also 2 other clinics in South America, in Bolivia, in Argentina. So perhaps if people are in this area, we can share all those informations. And so they are, and it's a doctor's family, but not. They never use drugs. The parents as doctors never use drugs and there was using a lot of ancestral techniques with modern technology. So it was quite new 30 years ago, and they just see dead coming to life, because we need to understand that if you are making your biological ground better, everything is going to work, because the body is amazing how it's capable of regeneration. But most of the time it's stuck, there is less energy, there is carencies, no vitamins, too much stress, and the gut. And so we always start our treatments with colonic irrigations, and we include inside, sometimes probiotics, ozonotherapy inside the colonic irrigations, and we don't make it like a car wash. People need to understand that colonic irrigations was used 100 years ago. Everyone has a wash kit in their house to clean a little bit. And so after that, with the technology, we can go more far away in the colon, you know. And so if we do this kind of treatments, after that the patients can go to have some specific perfusions, you know, with glutathione, with vitamin C, with vitamins, with minerals. And it's not, again, just a one shot. People need to understand that it's like a car, you know, you need to have several treatments. It's not just one time. So that's why it's sometimes complicated, because there is a cost for sure. But you know, when you have a piece in your car is broken, you're not going to call your insurance to say, okay, there is a possibility to have refund, you know, about like the health system in other countries. No, you are going to buy this product for your car because you need your car to move to go to another place. But we are the car. We are this vehicle, you know. So we need to invest in our health, and we need to be take care by the good people, the good clinics, the good doctors, the good dentists, and so that's why I think with you guys, it's the times to create this real network, you know, around the world, because the recommendations will be perfect. Okay, so after that, we also have ozonotherapy, you know, so it's taking blood, putting ozone, and after that, the blood is coming back to your body. And there is a lot of huge effect on the immune system, you know, and to regenerate also the stem cells. And so all those treatments, you know, in our clinic, it's not a question to have 20 treatments, you know, or but we know exactly how the body works. It's logical, it's biological. And so we help the people to just, okay, have a better health and start a new life. And after that, the body is prepared to do the rest in the mouth, you know. But after that, we also have a dental field in our clinic. It's pre-consultations in dentistry, because we don't have a place to put the chair. So we work with another dental clinic in Geneva, but we have this 1 day per week, this biological dentist coming in our clinic to see our patients, because there is a lot of other things about mercury. Mercury with gold, there is a lot of electricity, you know, in your mouth. And also, most of the people who had mercury in their body had a lot of titanium reactions, you know. So there is a lot of links between all of that. And after that, you have also the root canal, the problem. So this is, I think you shouldn't make another topic about this cause.
Yes.
But to stay on the mercury, it's mercury make you sensitive to a lot of things. And one thing that I learned, you know, today we have a lot of electrosensibility person, you know, so, and it's getting worse and worse, and people are getting crazy. Sometimes they're living in the woods, and so they completely cut their social life because they can't be in a place with Wi-Fi, electromagnetic field, etc. And so mercury breaks a lot of porphyrins. Porphyrins are the type of cells bringing, you know, iron and oxygen. And when it breaks all of that, the heart of the porphyrin is iron. So you have, after, a lot of free iron in your body, and so you are like an antenna. So we saw, and I saw that since 15 years as a therapist, that most of the time the people with electrosensibility had a mercury story behind. So you have a lot of things, you know, about that.
Yes. Well, thank you. So you practically customize, you individualize. The patient comes, and according to whatever you start finding, it's the patient needs attention, like you're saying with the car. You know, if it's the liver, if it's the kidney, you do what you need to do, clean the intestine, and do some ozonification, which is excellent. And then this biodentist helps the person to understand what would be the following steps after leveling, you know, leveling the state of health in a way that can endure the detoxification and whatnot. So excellent about that. So what do you think? So what do you think is needed now how can we make people aware? What do you think because, as we are saying from the beginning of the meeting, this is a message we're trying to, with our group here, we're trying to bring awareness to people, and not only mercury, but so many other things as well. But we need, as you said, you mentioned before, a network, where people can find nearby somebody who can guide them, who can actually show them the way. But
Yes.
what do you think is needed to spread more the word, Nicolas? What can we do?
We are doing. We are doing. It's just a question of time. We are on the human level. We need to be patient, and I think a lot of things is moving. And thanks to all those, like I say, these ancient warriors, and that's why we need. I think the urgent things is we need more people, between 30s and 50s, taking this question about mercury intoxications and going to, learn, to be a therapist, to be a dentist. We need to have more youth in this field, and this is for me, very important. And after that, the question about when you have someone who's sick, if you just ask him if he had some mercury feelings, just tell him to, make research by himself on this topic, and to show them the good informations. And after that, little by little, the person is going to take out of the matrix and is going to think by himself. Sometimes it's quite strange, because I have people sometimes when I'm talking about that, they say, "Oh yeah, perhaps, yeah, okay, perhaps it could be the cause of my sickness, etc." But I think I'm going to see my dentist, and I say, "Oh yeah, but careful." "Oh no, it's a very good one." It's a very good dentist. He's working with the very, very good product, and etc. So the thing is really to inform the people that there is no need to rush. Don't go to see any dentist before doing the job on your body, and after that, just choose. You're not married to your dentist, you're not married to your doctor. So people need to understand that they have the choice of choosing the good one, and they can have their all ancient informations, radiology, all those questions from you can take this back and give to the good doctors and the good dentist, but you need to be sure that it's the one and it's the good one. So after that, yeah, I think you're able today, with Tabitha, to create a massive movement, because people need to share information, they need to talk, and I think you are going to be in another step of your evolutions. You start with this fantastic WhatsApp group, because we always need to understand there is sometimes it's very important to make it also secure, because giving too much information sometimes for people, because on a group you can say, okay, you have the methylene blue, it's fantastic treatment, there is also this treatment, it's perfect for this detox, etc. So a lot of people can share. So sometimes on the WhatsApp it's quite complicated, because if you're not on live, you're not going to have this information. And sometimes you have patients trying too much things on the weak body. And as again, don't try any other treatment if you don't start of healing your gut, healing your kidney, healing your liver, healing your cells, etc. Just start like that, and after that you can try, and so yeah, it's the other side of the coin.
So Nicolas, there's many of our customers, my patients, they complain. They say, I have done so many testing. Some of my tests, for example, did not show any mercury or any heavy metal whatsoever, or showed very little. Some other tests, they showed too much. The doctors, they seem that they show different kinds of symptoms, right? Different kinds all over the place. And they feel, and this is like a good quantity of our patients that say, we are not understood by our doctors. Doctors, they ask you for a bunch of tests, but then they actually do not look into the depth of the test. So we have been discussing in the group about false positives, false negatives, people who are good excretors, bad excretors. The tests, they cannot go into your cell and your brain to know how much mercury. So what can, what's the story there, because the people are really, how can we educate better? Because this is something I think it's important, not the patient only,
Yes.
the doctors,
Yes.
the
Yes. Yeah,
practitioners.
you're right. You're right, because sometimes, people are getting aware about the mercury intoxication, and they're going to ask the doctors, and the doctors are going to make a simple test. So the blood test to see mercury intoxications, it's bullshit. For me, the hair test, it's not bullshit, but sometimes you have good extractor, but not other people. So you don't know about that, and after that, it's more a question about sensitivity. You can have. I remember when I was in my course with Boyd Allais in Geneva, we had a young woman in front of Boyd, and she was always sleeping. She was tired, always sleeping. And with no low energy. And I think she came to this school to know better about detox. And after that, after the course, she went to see a doctor, and she had a teeny mercury feelings, behind the teeth. Very, very little, just one little, like a little needle, And so she saw a dentist with safe removal. Okay, the energy was completely different. She was like that. She was aware, no low energy. So the reaction was huge because of nothing, like a little. And you have someone else. He has like 20 mercury amalgams. He's doing well. So no worries. My parents, has a lot of mercury fillings. Okay, they are old, but they're quite good, etc. Okay, so there is two things to understand. There is the question about sensitivity. So you can have a huge sensitivity for a little amount of mercury. And after that, don't make me fool, if you have mercury, even if it's small or big, you are deeply intoxicated. But the thing is, depending about a lot of other factors, okay, you will have perhaps mercury problems linked to mercury in 30 years or in 50 years, or perhaps you will have during your whole life, but you won't have a clue that there is a link.
Exactly.
So all those situations need to make people understand that there is no doubt. And we are talking about the dental feelings, but mercury you have also in the fish, in environment, so the multiplications of toxicity with mercury is enormous. And after that, you have the other metals, etc. But if you have mercury in your body and you think that you don't have, you're not healed, or you don't have health issues, it's not saying that in one day your body will collapse. So yeah, it's
like you reach a saturation point where it seems like for some people, like you're saying, many amalgams, many years. You're right, exposing you every meal 3 times a day minimum. You are being intoxicated, and maybe your metabolism is so good that you have been able to excrete grand part of it. But let's say
no, you can't excrete.
it
You
comes
can't
to a
excrete
point where
just
your body is
20%.
going to be saturated and it cannot
Yes.
do it anymore. And that's when the
Yes.
crisis comes, like you said, 30 years from now,
Yes.
or maybe only half an hour ago, no? David
Yeah.
talks about Karen Weatherhand, that she got pinched just with a little bit of mercury, an absurd quantity of mercury. And in about 6 months, she was slurring and she could not speak anymore. In less than a year, she was dead. So, it's very important that people don't think they are safe. Oh, I'm safe. Look at the results of the exams. You may not show any mercury here in this test, my friend, but you may not show any symptoms, but you never know when this could happen. Why?
Yeah. completely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a commentary here. Even dentists are not aware of how deep intoxicated they are. Yes, absolutely, Luis Fernando. This is a big problem, no? That dentists themselves, they don't understand maybe their health issues that they're having because of the exposure. Because let's say a doctor who is not a biodentist, but a doctor who's not using amalgams, no? If he's not using amalgams anymore for many years, he is dedicated only to use the correct materials in the mouth. But the patients that come, they do have the amalgams. And they need to manipulate there. Even when they're cleaning, when you're cleaning with these brushes going at high speed and all that. So Dr. Luis Fernando is telling us here in a message, he himself was heavily intoxicated by mercury, you know. So, but now he's taking the oils out.
Yeah, it's all the team, you know, it's mercury. It's like you said before, you know, it's going to intoxicate the dentist, the assistants, people living above a dental office, you know, through the window, because it's not just a question about opening, you know. Blanche Group, you know, with Al, his mentor and professor, like in the 70s, his idea was to make this concept about, and he said that we need to have a bubble. It's a bubble. So every safe mercury removal needs to be done in a bubble, you know. So there is a lot of air extractions, but with filtering, you know. So there is a lot of things to create a safe place. It's not just a question about open windows, etc., or the door. If you understand that, and if your dentist say, oh yeah, you know, we are making some safety, okay, no, you need to make it in a good way, you know, because it's very toxic. If you have this little amount of mercury, you know, putting with the teeth, and, you know, in a classroom, you need to evacuate the room, you know. There is a companies coming, special companies coming to deliver mercury on dental office, and when you take it out, you are not allowed as a dentist to put it in a garbage. You know, you need to put it in a safety box and call after that, you know, the contaminations company to come and to take this mercury. So before and after, it's very toxic, but between, in your mouth, it's okay. So it's a complete nonsense. And again, we are talking about dentists who puts mercury in their patients during many years. And I understand that it can be difficult to roll back and say, okay, I made mistakes. I need to change the way I'm working, you know, and because, you know, they're quite stressed, because, you know, they are thinking that all the patients are going to sue them or call them and say, oh yeah, you destroy my life, etc. So it's a very difficult topic. And mercury also, because of, you know, the vaccinations, because it was really used also, like thimerosal, it's another name of mercury, you know, in vaccination. And it's not a question about talking about if you are for vaccination or not. It's not the debate today. No. But the thing is, because it's very this heavy metal was also used in this industry, that's why it was quite difficult to stand and say, yeah, mercury it's huge, it's very toxic, you know, as aluminium, you know. So yeah.
Oh, apropos, there is a question here, a very interesting question. You mentioned now aluminum, and here our dear friend Jasmine asking, is it true that mercury are holding into aluminium, so that somehow aluminum and mercury, they hold each other? Is that the question?
No, there is no, I think, because you need sulfur. Mercury and sulfur, they have, you know,
affinity.
So affinity.
Yes.
So there is no sulfur in aluminium, and aluminiums directly go to the brain. It's not going. It's more a brain issue than the sun. So and mercury is going to destroy your gut. It's going to destroy your cells. It's going to be inside your cells. So it's you know, it's taking a Kalashnikov and destroy everything. And after that, he say, okay, I did my job. I'm going to put in my fat bed and I'm going to sleep there. So that's why also we need to warn people, who's made some, if they want to lose weight quickly. And so also understand that if you was intoxicated with mercury, or if you still have mercury in your mouth, you have a lot of mercury in your fat. So don't start, losing weight like that, because all those mercury after that is going to go to the bloodstream, and after that the risk is this time it's going to go to your brain.
Wow, that's something we have never encountered. That's a very interesting piece of information. Thank you. Yeah, there's more questions here. How specifically are aluminum and barium removed from the body?
Today, sadly, there is no very good treatments to do that, like OSR. OSR, it's amazing. Yeah, when you think about that, it's just amazing. But we don't have the equivalent for barium or aluminum.
Yeah.
So people know that sometimes siliciums can help, etc. But it's in a very low level. For very high intoxications, and we have a lot of aluminum. I think it will be after the making mercury history. I think we will talk about making aluminum history, because I think it's the next. Yeah, but aluminum it's
together with lead. Yeah, but there is something that people do need to understand. That is something that is so wonderful about the OSR, and it's the fact that why is the name OSR? Again, we have repeated this so many times. Some of you who are listening to us right now, they have heard these words many times. But they are directed mainly at people who are new to our group, and so OSR stands for oxidative stress relief. And anything foreign that comes into your body, okay, that does not agree, and and your body is not able to process, produces oxidative stress, free radicals a galore. So, and who takes care of that oxidative stress? Antioxidants. And what is OSR mainly? It's mainly the best antioxidant there is, according to the ORAC punctuation. So, having said that, OSR will not eliminate your aluminum. No, it will not eliminate or neutralize your barium. No, it won't. But all the extra free radicals and oxidative stress being produced, the OSR is going to help to eliminate, and therefore your body will begin slowly producing the necessary antioxidants itself to be able and handle all that toxicity little by little way. That's why people have sometimes reactions. They start moving the mercury, it starts being neutralized, okay? Then the other things that are the glyphosate, the microplastics and whatnot, they start creating the body starts moving them, trying to eliminate them, and then people have reactions, a little itchiness or scratchy or headache and whatnot. So here another question is, how long does it take for mercury to leave the body, and what does the body need except from OSR, obviously apart from, to help the body remove the mercury?
Yeah, I think it was like 80 years, to help but again, it's impossible to have a 100% cleanse by the body itself. That's why we need this kind of product. That's why chelation was a successful treatment, because for some people they were very close to the death, and are very they want to change their life. They have this treatment, and they start feeling better. And so yes, it's a long term. It's it's a one life problem. So there is today solutions, and OSR. And I think you already told that the history of OSR, it's amazing, because I was very close to the two CEO before David, Ragnar and Laurent, And I learned a lot about the company, about the Irminix, and it was OSR before, etc. So when I was studying in my school in Geneva, we were very focused on autistic child. So that's why Boyd was there, because it was exactly a few years after he was in big trouble, saving a lot of, not saving, but helping a lot of autistic family, And so that's why he came to this school, because this school was specified to help autistic child and also hyperactive, etc. But because after that we understand, and all those fantastic other professor was linked to that, and we need to understand that OSR helped a lot before, and after that, the FDA say, okay, you have too much success, and now you need to transform OSR in a drug, and so that's where we are today, and I think and the use of Boyd compound. Boyd say it's a simple molecule. Is this product? That's why you have a very bad copy in China, and that's why we need to also talk about the safety of the OSR generate by you, with Savita, by David, etc. So because people need also to understand that there is a lot of copy. Yes. And so it's a very interesting topic.
Yes, thank you. Michael Bond, who's a dear friend also from the UK, he's sent a message. I'm going to read it for him. He says, "Hi, Nicolas. I think your patients are either already enlightened about mercury or sufficiently open-minded to be at your door. In a calm, informed way, I have spoken to so many friends and acquaintances about their health issue possibly and probably being caused by mercury. I have never made any breakthrough whatsoever. It is for them too crazy an idea which goes against what they have been told. Through repeating the same mantra, amalgam is safe, health bodies have subtly indoctrinated the population over the last 200 years. Toxicity and nutrition is intentionally not taught in medical or dental schools. Like those in the group, I fight the good fight. Sadly, I am not sure we can make enough difference, but we will keep trying. Merci."
Yeah, very good.
Yes,
very good,
Michael.
testimony.
We are in Brazil. We say estamos juntos. We're together. So yes, it's a matter of continuing. Because like sometimes when I talk to David, and they say they don't get tired. You see them still with the same enthusiasm, and they've been talking about this for 25, 30, 35 years. So why not? Dr. Luis Fernando Muta, he writes, "I see many biological dentists that don't care about the next patient that is going to enter in the room with the contamination. They receive a patient just after an amalgam removal without caring about filters and about ambient contamination. The other patient and the crew that enters immediately after an amalgam removal also get intoxicated. They don't even open the window of the office." My God,
we also have this in Switzerland, like I said, sadly we have dentists, and it's not of the personnel, because sometimes they really know that mercury is very toxic. They're really aware, and they want to remove this mercury from the mouth. And but they're not going too far to be IAOMT certified, and most of the times also it's a question about their because I work with a lot of dental office in Geneva, in clinics, in different kind of centers, etc. So I know exactly how it works, and sometimes the places are very small. And also sometimes, there is a lot of traffic. And if you have a success dental clinic, with very amazing techniques, etc., it's good. But after that, you say, okay, no, we are not going to take your mercury out, because after that we have a patient, And you're completely right. Most of the time, they don't open the window and they say, okay, we made it in a safe way, don't worry, etc. And so after that, you have another patient coming. So this is, for me, it's very sad. And that's why sometimes I was putting in confrontation with people in Switzerland, because I'm very stick on that, safety first. And sometimes, they also don't understand how biological dentistry is very modern, it's getting higher and higher in techniques. So it's not just freak dental dentist, but you're right. And also Blanche Grubes, always tell me that sometimes you have just biological dentists so they are not biological dentists, they're just conventional, but they know that biological is going to sell, it's marketing. So yeah, just be clear on that. Don't be fooled. Just take the good informations to EIOMT and EIBDM, and after that, doing the rest for your body. Yeah. So completely agree.
Yes. Well, thank you. And that's why, the reason Nicolas has already spoken a little bit about our new project. We have not spoken so much about together with Tabitha, but this is what the project is all about. We want people, first of all, we want to continue bringing information and educating people and giving them enough elements for them to take informed decisions when it comes to their own health, their own detoxification, detoxification processes. And we are bringing also together a network of both integral medicine doctors, right, and functional doctors, and as well as biological dentists, both certified and not certified. Those not certified, maybe to bring them to the light and help them little by little understand, because I think the most important thing is that the patients go, like when I go as a patient to my dentist, if it's not a bio dentist because there is no one around and I need something to be done, I ask a lot of questions.
Mm-hmm.
I ask if they usually use.
You need to know the protocols.
and you need to know if they have been working a lot with amalgams, for example. So I had to get, unfortunately, a molar removed when I was in Brasilia, and it was an emergency. I had to go to this doctor. My other supposedly biological doctor, I had found out he's not biological. So I went to this doctor and I asked her, and I found out that she's not using amalgam, she's not treating people with fluoride, da 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 da. So okay, she's not certified, but she was giving me the right answers, and that's what you need to do. You need to ask questions, but better, much better, go to a certified IAOMT doctors, and we're going to have a network of doctors here, people you will be able to consult. Doctors will be able to exchange their own protocols and ideas on how to do many things, and it's going to be wonderful. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it's going to be soon announced officially, and so surprise, just a little tasty from what's going to happen in the near future.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect because I think you're also well surrounded by the good people, with Boyd, with David, with all those fantastic scientists, and it's really a family, and everyone here is also a family, of that, because you are aware, you're curious, you want to get you want to be better in your life, to have more vitality, etc. But sadly, it's a very hard topic. It's not easy to detox brain, so start to detox your body. And with OSR, the amazing thing is the only ones able to cross brain barrier, So you have a lot of publications, a PowerPoint, and I think in this group to understand the concept, So yeah, it's very interesting, and all the best for this new project.
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know. I would like to open the microphones if anybody would like to ask a direct question to Nicolas, or if you want to just type it. I don't really understand Jasmine. She's written something there about the metals removed from the brain. Maybe, I think there's this big thing about removing the metals from the brain. Obviously, everybody's worried about that. We know very well that OSR neutralizes and eventually it is excreted from the body, this new molecule formed by the OSR and the mercury.
But you know, so
but about the other metals, what can you say about the other metals?
No, the thing is, you know, it's quite funny because you know, I'm going to holiday, you know, and my boss told me yesterday, Nicholas, you know, don't eat too much sugar, you know, for your brain, you know, because for memory loss, you know, because sugar, you know, the bad sugar, it's way it's really worse, you know, and for your brain and for your memory. So, you know, sometimes heavy metals, you know, it's a kind of a catalyzer, you know, okay, because when you start like that, you say, oh yeah, okay, this is the only way, this is the only things, because it's in me, so I need to get rid of it. But start your life not taking toxic from the outside first, you know. Like I said, you know, at the beginning when I was studying, and after that when I was a young therapist, you know, starting, the only advice that I gave to my patient was, okay, you have mercury in your body, okay, it's stuck, okay, it's bad, but okay, start today to eliminate every toxicity from the outside that you are able to have an action on an action. And you know, your brain is going to be killed by sugar, you know. So you can start also, you know, thinking like that, and after that using OSR and also making your health and gut better, and your body will do the rest, you know. So
absolutely, you are, I hear you totally, you know, like, yes, of course, we understand. We are in the on planet Earth, so we are toxic somehow, more or less. But we are in this Earth. We are breathing things. We are eating things. We are drinking things, and we are watching things, right? And even hearing things that contaminate our body. Good, okay. But then we start by that. So what is contaminating me? What can I do about my own health? So this obsession, obviously, which is justified with the metals in the brain, as you say, yes, but you know, have you started? And I know, for example, the person who asked the question, Jasmine, she's very conscientious about her diet. I know that. We've known Jasmine for a long time. She's very, very keen on good nutrition and whatnot. She's a mom with an autistic kid also, who's making lots of progress with the OSR and whatnot. But anyway, the thing is that dieting, you know, is not only about what you consume, what you stop consuming is sometimes even more important than what you're thinking of consuming. So if you stop with the gluten, if you stop with the milk, with the dairies, or at least reduce them, if you stop with the sugar altogether, you know, I give you a little anecdote. I have myself been going through some days of a carnivore diet, okay, some cleansing that I'm doing. It's amazing. I'm not, you know, I am half German, so I enjoy my bread. I love bread. You know, I'm not touching the gluten. I'm not touching it at all. And many things immediately after 2 days, pains in my joints that I was beginning to have, you know, mobility, clearness of thought. I'm not taking any OSR at this moment, but just by, like you say, taking care
yes,
of what you are ingesting, or at least reducing those things, you know, you have no idea what your body on its own is able to then manipulate and be able to extract. So by having said that, Nicholas, thank you. Because, you know, if you take care of that, you don't eat sugar, if you don't, you know, eat gluten and so on, your body functions better, starts taking the metals little by little on its own. You have some mental clarity. So yes, thank you for that.
Can I add? I'm going to, if it's okay, if we have time, I want just to give you also a kind of very beautiful souvenir with Boyd, because again, I'm talking about this you know, study in Geneva, but it was an amazing school, you know, called Stellior, and was really focused on physiopathology and heavy metal intoxications, but it was also very focused on drugs, but not the drugs that we used to think, like cocaine, marijuana, etc. We understand, and we had this marvelous professor, and he's dead now. called Karl Reichelt, and all his studies was approved by the Nobel Prize, so it's scientific proven. And he was also a very good friend from Boyd. And when I organized this conference in the medical university with 300 people, you know, in 2013, the conference was with Boyd and Karl Reichelt. Boyd talked about mercury, and Karl Reichelt was talking about opioid peptides from the gluten and from the casein, because it's not just a question about saying that gluten is not good and dairy product is not good. Yes, you will have a better health if you eat less and less those products, for sure, about acidifications and other health issues problems, you know. But the amazing things that this guy discovered was the impact of opioids in the gluten and casein. You have, for one molecule of gluten, you have 6 opioids linked to this molecule of gluten, and each one of them, it's 200 more powerful than opium. Okay, and the thing is, you have so we call it caseomorphine, we call it glutamorphine, and you have several different kind of this kind of opioids in the gluten and in the casein. And Karl Reichelt was the one who put this in light and helped a lot of patients. And the thing is, since many years we are eating more and more about that. Okay. And so that's why perhaps the world is getting crazy, because all those peptides, specific peptides for the gluten and casein, they are, imagine, 1 molecule of casein, 6 molecule of opioid peptides, you know, and it's very powerful. So imagine if you have a sandwich, if you're eating cheese, if you're drinking milk, imagine yogurt, you imagine the dairy, all the food that the kids are eating, and all the person, and the amount of those drugs from the gluten and caseins ingest. But again, you have people that don't have, and those peptides, opioids, you have a specific one from the mood, one from hyperactivity, one from loss of memory, one from suicidal ideas. So there is a range of that. And I remember I made all those urine tests in France, in Paris, for my patients. And the test it's fantastic, because you have exactly the list of how you react to these opioids of gluten and casein. And even with the test, I can exactly say how the person is, you know. And sometimes it was amazing about the results. But the thing is, to go to have these opioids going to your brain, you need to have the first barriers broken. And the first barrier broken is your gut. Because if you have a strong gut, you know, and a strong hematoencephalic barrier, you know, those type of things is not going to disturb you. So that's why mercury also, it's a huge issue, because it's going also to make hypersensitivity to this kind of food. So that's why autistic child, hyperactive child, you should, I know it's problematic because it's very difficult. You need to coach them, family, you need to go to the school and say there is hypersensitivity. You need to create also the bakery, the cake for the anniversary for his friend, etc. So you need to be organized. But when you try 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month without any type of gluten and casein, if you succeed to do that, you will see the results. And that's why in this school, there were a lot of mothers who were intoxicated by mercury, who has autistic child and hyperactivity child. And that's why they decide to go to the school to understand how it works first, and how to be a therapist and to help people. So thank I don't know, life to bring me in that. And that's why I start to know Boyd, and the rest is a journey.
A journey, a fantastic journey, but it's amazing, exactly what you're saying. Many of the mothers, the main problem they encounter is if you're going to um, use a diet, a particular diet. I'm not going to talk about any kind, but let's say a particular diet for your child who is autistic, and you want to eliminate some things and maybe add some others. It's already difficult because number one, the children normally they are not so happy to take new things, or they cannot express verbally they whatever, they are difficult sometimes. But apart from that, you have to take into account, like when you have, like with an ALS patient, that you cannot feed everything to the rest of the family, sorry, to the patient with ALS, as you are feeding the rest of the family. So having said that, you need to create two kitchens or two cookings for the rest of the family, or you need to bring the whole family to practice the same diet. It becomes really an issue.
Exact.
It becomes really problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Moms, they how do you tell? You have 3 children, and they ask pizza. I want pizza, pizza, pizza. And the kid, you want to obviously is him to stay away from the gluten. He's going to watch his brothers and sisters eat the pizza, and it's not easy.
Yeah, it's that's why when I was a therapist, I used to coach the parents. I used sometimes to have the whole family in the same place, and it's hard. It's so difficult, etc. But the one who succeed, their life change. The life change, and they're not going to roll back on that. But you need to feel, you need to test how you can.
Yeah.
But everyone, if we are talking about 200 more powerful than morphine, that's why people are we love cheese, we love bread. I heard patients saying, you're not going to take my bread out, I'm going to kill you. And so that there is a huge addictions to that, because also of these opioids going through your gut, going through your gut and going to your brain, and so that's why mercury and heavy metals are, and most of the time mercury is going to destroy all those barriers. So you need to link that. And after that, yes, just start by your diet, go and reinforce your vitality, your cells, and your gut, etc. And your body is an amazing machine. It's going to regenerate. It's going to, yes, it's, when you cut, in your hands, and you take a camera and you're going to film, and after that you go to put in accelerate. Yeah, we are heroes, for sure. And you can cure by yourself inside. But during this 150 years, we went to 200 different kind of food, to 20,000 different kind of food. We had our ancients were less intoxicated by heavy metals, pesticides, etc. So yes, we are in big trouble, and it's amazing how we are not dead. So that's why the body is resisting to that. Is able to endure, to suffer. So it's okay to suffer. It's okay to not being in good health, etc. But it's going to work. There is a huge hope, and the body is capable of curing things. With the help of biological dentistry, biological medicine, and it's not a question to put all those medicine, against the other kind of, but yeah, it's there is a huge hope. So believe in that, and start today, and start to work on your diet and health.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Thank you, Nicolas. Yes, let's start, like he's saying, cut down your sugar, cut down, your lactose if you can, maybe, and, gluten. And you will start seeing already many great things, apart than, work on your deparasitation protocols, fungi, and all kinds of heavy metals. But before that, make sure, as Nicolas and many of our guests have already said and repeated many times in our interviews, take care of your gut, take care of your kidney, take care of your liver. Okay, watch those 3 things. They are essential for your functioning, and then you're home free. how fast, people ask, how fast is this going to happen? Or how is it? It's difficult to know how toxic you are. It depends on how many years you were exposed and if you are still exposed, okay, and what kind of combination of metals and
yeah, it's like getting a child, you know. How fast is going to leave my house? No, it's going to take a long time before he's going to leave, you know. So you just think like that, you know. It's not a question about how fast, it's when I start, you know. And don't forget also to understand that mercury intoxicated people has a lot of food intolerance. We made these things, you know, scientifically, we know exactly. So don't put this, you need to do the good test to see the food intolerance, because there is a lot when you are intoxicated in mercury. So if you have this food test, not allergy, intolerance, you know, sensitivity, you can organize your food and your meal with that, you know. And so for sure, everyone in the family is different, and so you need also to find a coach or someone's able to organize the family time with the kids. For the kids. There is also the question of, you know, it's for the kids, you know, it's make them eat fruits, veggies, you know, and forget sometimes the question about gluten and dairy, etc. But make them understand that you know, more fruits, more veggies, you know. So yeah, but after that, it's common sense. So, but yeah, it's a hard job, but life is hard. But it's worth it.
It is, isn't it? So thank you very much, Nicolas. I don't know if anybody should have a last question or commentary. You may do that now, please.
And I think we will have also many questions when this video will be also put online. So thank you very much for that.
No, thank you, Nicolas. You know, and it's great to know that we are working, you know, together. We are on the same page. We are trying to educate people. We are trying to bring information. We do not have all the answers, but believe you me, guys, we are looking for them. We are searching for the answers. So thank you, everyone, for being here with us. We truly appreciate.
And keep us in touch.
Yes,
keep us in touch for the next step.
Very soon, we're going to have some very great news for everyone here involved. And yeah, hope to see you, all of you, very soon here in this space.
Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you so much. It was amazing. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. So we keep in touch, and yeah, for sure, you know, the Europe and America sides, you know, there is just water inside. But don't forget the water. The water is also very important. Informed water, restricted water, you know. So
yes, absolutely. We can have a whole program about water, isn't it? We could discuss for a long time about water. So, somebody's asking a last minute question here. Would you say that camel milk contains casein too? My God, that's a good question.
Yes. You know, there is also the question between lactose and casein. You know, sometimes there is difference concerning the lactose. About like cheese in Switzerland or in France, they made a very hard cheese, so there is less, like no lactose in it. But casein is always inside. It's the protein, so it's also every and sadly for these opioid peptides, and I can send to William and Tabitha the information concerning this research on peptides, opioids. Okay. Sadly, it's not a question about the quality. It's just a question about if there is casein or gluten, there is opioids linked to that. You know, on this. So it's it's not a question about if the cheese or if it's the milk, it's made in a better way, like kefir, like other stuff, like other cheese, like it's healthier than a industrial cheese. For this topic, casein, it's the same.
Okay, I see. And there's another couple questions.
Yeah, silica. It's a good question because, you know, it's I went to a conference in London. It was in 2019, I think, and I met also a very famous biological dentistry there. And so I will send you also his contact, William.
Oh,
And we had the famous keynote speaker on aluminum intoxications. I don't remember his name. He has long hair, and he knows this topic, and he said, today we don't have a solution. But the only hope is silica. So there is water with silica. There is different kind of silica that can help, I think, perhaps. But he was very clear with me, and he said, no, there is no hope on these aluminum intoxications in the brain. But silica, I think you're talking about that. There is possibility of that, but I don't know too much, though I don't want to say if I don't know too much.
Thank you. Okay, we need to find out. And there's what about distilled water? Is distilled water healthy? Somebody is asking. Michael.
Water, yeah, it's you have a different kind of systems to reinform. In South America, there is a company selling Port Mag. It's device Port Mag. So you can find it in South America, and we have this in France and in Switzerland, and we use it in our clinic. It's going to reinform and redynamize the water and in a portable way. So it's not a huge of installations in the kitchen, etc. So yeah, better you can drink nice water, better is it, but it's a huge, fantastic concept. But for sure, yeah, the water, the classic water in bottle or in your kitchen is just dead water and completely. So it's not going to hydrate and help also the body to detox, for sure.
Yes,
yeah, Christopher Exley. Yeah, I met him. He's a fantastic guy. So if you want to know more about aluminum, Christopher Exley.
Christopher Exley. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, Jasmine, keeping the memory alive here.
And I think he creates a silica water, so people can drink it, and so it helps. But it's not in the same level of what OSR do on mercury, for sure.
Excellent. For sure. Okay, very good. Let me hold alive, please. Okay, we'll try to get Christopher then, if it's possible.
It's quite a famous man and very, very specific. But yeah, if you succeed, but I think with this group and all the people behind, I think you will have a very, very large audience.
Yes, I think so too. We are also, like you said, we're supported by many people who are seeing the benefit of communicating, of sharing the information. And, this is only going to get better. So, let's not give up. Michael, keep up the good work, everyone, Jasmine, and everyone who has participated today in our interview here. Again, thank you. And if you don't have any last question, then forever you hold your peace, like they say when you are getting married. I guess not. Okay, thank you very much. Excellent interview. Thank you for your wonderful presentation and
it was a
great
pleasure.
Interview. Thank you very much.
Perfect. So take care, everyone, and yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.